Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sand Hills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Hey, morning, Moore County. Well, John fell out of the hike yesterday before we even got started. So today we're just going to clean up our 782 gear, put a spit shine on our shoes, and straighten up our uniform, because today is a good day to remember some of the sacrifice there from Operation Overlord, D-Day, 6th of June, which was the beginning of the end there for Mr. Hitler.
All right, we'll get into that in just a moment. Don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is to where the link's located. On your mobile device, you can get it with your YouTube app. Put Mornings with the Leader Man in the search. Now, if you're just looking at audio, there are many streaming services that will do that for you. There are apps free and available at your app stores, such as TuneIn, iTunes, Streamo. Many others will do it. Just put WEEB in the search, and we should appear at the top. If you're on a website, of course, it's available in the upper right-hand corner of every web page where the icon says Listen Live on the Air. So tap that once and you're listening just that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sand Hills area. It's going to be partly cloudy with scattered showers, high of 88. This is going to be very monotonous sounding. Tonight, more of the same, a low of 70. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy showers, 82. Saturday, mostly cloudy showers, 80. Sunday, mostly cloudy showers, 81. Monday, mostly cloudy showers and thunderstorms, 84. And Tuesday, 83. Wednesday, might see a tad bit of sunshine. It'll be partly cloudy with thunderstorms, high of 82. Right now around the Sand Hills, winds are from the southwest of 7, visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure 2991, dew point 70, humidity 94%. Sunny 72 right now here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And these dew points, that's how comfortable it feels on your skin, are just going to stay in the 70-plus range for at least the next 10 days. No relief in sight. So we went from nice to...
perfect weather.
Nice to wet rag in face as soon as you walk out.
Yes.
Nice and your front door is fogged up all day long from all the humidity. The higher up the door, the more you're going to feel it. All right. Well, a serious day today as we look back 75 years on the invasion at Normandy by the Allied troops to try to eradicate the tyrant off the face of this earth. Jeff has notes on what it was like back then, and I got a couple of things, too, that we're going to play for this also. So go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I just had a kind of a 50,000-foot view of a few things that occurred specifically today, June 6th, 75 years ago, and during the month of June worldwide. Operation Overlord, of course, was the name of what D-Day has become known as. And, just a few tidbits. 156,000 American, British, and Canadian troops landed on 5 beaches covering 50 miles of Normandy shoreline, Normandy, France. Of note, 195,000 naval personnel supported that landing. So it just kind of gives you an idea that the support to get those people across just a narrow 30-some miles, 20-some miles of English Channel to land them on the beaches there in France required more people than actually landed. Now, tens of thousands more troops were involved in all the aviation support. The transport aircraft that dropped 3 airborne divisions, and the fighter cover, the bombers, etc. Today, as we sit here now, pre-dawn air landings by paraglider troops, including the 82nd Airborne, the 101st, and the 6th British Airborne Divisions, landed behind the beaches to secure vital blocking positions and other key terrain necessary for future operations. They were trying to, ensure that the Germans couldn't run right up on the beach with massive forces, to oppose the landings. And they also wanted to make sure that certain bridges and canals and things and key infrastructure were maintained to support future operations off of the beach. The surface landings began at 6:30 local time, so an hour into it, troops landed at Gold, Juneau, Sword, and Utah beaches, and those beaches had relatively light opposition compared to the troops that landed at Omaha Beach, which was fiercely contended or fiercely resisted, and more than 2,000 killed in action alone on Omaha Beach, which was almost as many or as many as the other four beaches combined. At Omaha Beach, you had the 1st and 29th U.S. Infantry Divisions. The Utah Beach, 4th and 90th U.S. Infantry Divisions. Gold Beach was the 50th British Division. Juneau was the 30th Canadian Infantry Division, and Sword was the landing for the 3rd British Infantry Divisions. In total, they try to be accurate, but depending on your sources and new information is provided. Even today, people are still finding remains and declaring casualties, etc. But notionally, we have some fairly accurate information. Total killed on those beaches and behind the lines, behind the beaches, were 4,414, and more than 10,000 total casualties estimated for this day alone. And of course, it's a significant event for us. So many Americans died, but you had British and Canadian forces there also. And just as to put things in a little perspective, on the 5th of June, the day before, Rome fell. And to keep in mind, we landed 156,000 troops on the beaches there in Normandy. There were more than 600,000 Allied troops in Italy that had been fighting for over a year, since 1943. That was a multinational force. There were U.S. forces, British, French, Indian, other African troops, South African troops. Later on, not for the fall of Rome, but shortly after, Brazilian troops arrived. So 600,000 Allied troops in Italy at the same time that we're conducting these landings. On the Russian front, several weeks after these landings, that gave, once the Russians understood that the D-Day landings were a success, and within a week we had 300,000 more troops on the beaches, and by the end of the month it was pushing close to 1 million troops in France. On the Russian fronts, within 2 weeks, they kicked off a major operation which destroyed 28 of 34 German divisions in Belarus, which is east of Poland and the Baltic states, but they absolutely crushed German resistance in that area and enabled them to really start making some headway on what had been a static front there in Russia. The estimates there's so many sources on those, I don't want to get specific numbers, but several million troops were engaged. At the same time, June and early July in the Pacific Theater, New Guinea, island right there off the northern coast of Australia, significant operations there. New Guinea became close to being secured, which again secured the Australian Southwest Pacific Theater. Those are U.S. and Canadian, or U.S. and Australian forces there. New Britain, Rabaul, which was a huge Japanese naval base, was secured during that time frame. Late June, early July, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian, major amphibious operation, landed 125,000 troops using 500 ships. Now, sure, that's less than D-Day, but they're doing that 3,000 miles away from the nearest support base in Pearl Harbor. So that's significant when you're picking up that many troops, landing them across a beach, thousands of miles away from any kind of support. All your aviation support is off of aircraft carriers, which is limited. You can't fly from England, or mainland. England is supporting D-Day from, 30, 40, 50, 100 miles away. You can't do that when you're landing on the Pacific Islands. That's a significant event. The purpose of taking those bases, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian, of course, they were former U.S. possessions, but you needed B-29 bases, and that allowed the direct bombing of Japan. And it also sets up the invasion for the Philippines and quite a few other operations in the area. And the least remembered theater of the war probably is the China-Burma Indian Theater. And in June 1944, there were significant actions in Burma. Most of the ground action is conducted by Chinese troops, Indian troops, Australian troops. It was tough fighting. There was very little infrastructure, very few roads, etc. The United States, the primary focus for U.S. forces there was air, aviation, bombing, fighter support, etc. But we did have some U.S. troops there, much smaller formations than in the other theaters. Also being conducted there in the China-Burma India Theater, you had B-29 attacks from Western China, and you had a significant transportation operation going from Burma and India into China, flying over the Himalayas. Thousands of airplanes, thousands of aircraft daily flying over the Himalayas to keep China supplied and in the war. So, yes, D-Day is a significant event. It's something to be remembered. It's probably it's probably the significant event for the European theater, but that action set up so many other things worldwide to bring this whole World War II to an end more quickly than would otherwise have been allowed. So,
well, the significant event being life as we know it was on the line.
Yes, worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. And that's why the world geared up to take on this tyrant.
Tyrants, yeah, plural. I mean, there were a few. Yeah, Benito, and although he was done by then.
Yeah, but remember, Hitler was elected.
Right.
Yeah. This shows you how easy it is to fool some people. Meanwhile, though, in relation to all this, a 90-year-old World War II vet wrote a song about D-Day called The Shores of Normandy. And for the last few days, it's been Amazon's top-selling single in the UK. His name is Jim Rayford, and he was only 15 when he served on a British ship. He's the youngest known participant in the landings. There's only 37 seconds of the song here, but worth a listen.
I can still recall the men I saw that day, who died upon that blood-soaked sand, where now sweet children play. And those of you who were unborn, who've lived in liberty, remember those who made it so on the shores of Normandy.
Okay.
Yeah, in UK, that's particular note. I mean, the UK Britain has quite a different remembrance, and they call it Remembrance Day rather than Veterans Day or whatever.
Oh, they were being bombed.
Well, they were, they were the front line of it. But after World War I and World War II, and the significant losses that they experienced in World War I, they still refer to the Great Fallen. I mean, it was a generation. And comparatively speaking, you know, the United States, we had significant casualties, but when you compare to what that did percentage-wise to the population of England, they had a receding. Their population shrank for years and years and years after World War II.
They were running out of men.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Have kids with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a totally different viewpoint there than here. In many regards, anyway.
A 97-year-old World War II vet from San Diego. Oh, by the way, I heard this morning that on the first wave up the banks of Normandy, the first wave, 90% of those that came ashore died on the first wave.
Yeah, I don't know what those percent. I've seen various things, but yeah, it was significant casualties.
Basically, we had to overwhelm them with numbers. We had to have more men than they had bullets.
Yeah, that was Utah Beach, right?
A 97-year-old World War II vet from San Diego parachuted into Normandy, France, yesterday, 75 years after the first time he did it on D-Day in 1944. He did it as a tandem jump with 200 other people as part of the anniversary celebrations, and says he did it to honor those who were there that day.
It's okay, sir?
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful drive, beautiful jump, beautiful flight. Everything was perfect. I honor those who didn't come back, who were wounded, who walked away from it, who were deceased. Those are the guys that are the heroes.
And one more thing that I have. This is on the 75th anniversary of D-Day. The Brian Cranston is going to read a letter from soldiers to a family back home. And he's describing the invasion of Normandy. Here's one of the soldiers to his girl describing the D-Day landing on Omaha Beach. So this puts you right there at the time in the mind of a soldier getting ready to storm that beach, and his thoughts back to his lady in the States.
My sweet Mildred, in the faraway distance, one could hear the rumble of the artillery and the brrrp, brrrp of machine gun fire. The elements were at their worst, and our landing craft was half filled with water. We used our helmets to throw it overboard, and I never thought we would make it. Some of the boats never reached the shore. It was a horrible sight. The word came, let's go. We didn't have a chance to fight back. We were dropped into the water over our heads. With a stream of lead coming at us, we were at the mercy of the Germans. I pulled myself together and sought a rifle, and around I went trying to find my outfit. Gracious Lord, what was left of them? Just 25 out of 160. We overcame all obstacles and pushed inland to capture our first town. Our outfit can be proud of the part that we played in helping to win this war. Bye, my sweet. Love and kisses, Dom.
Okay.
You know, that gives you an idea. He had 25 effectives after landing out of 165 strength. So,
No.
you know, that doesn't quite get to that 90%, but that's basically an ineffective unit once you've got them. Oh, sure.
Particularly if they knocked the leadership out.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
66-year-old, we're through with Normandy now, and we're going to move on. But we can't say enough about all the brave blood shed that day that saved this country, because this country literally had to gear up, stop production of everything. I'm talking about everything was for the war, right down to sugar. Coca-Cola got all the sugar allocations for all soft drinks.
Right.
They were designated the war drink. Pepsi had to go out on the market buy candy bars, extract the sugar to put into their Pepsis.
Right. Yeah, I remember reading that.
It's crazy. Anyway, but all companies were geared to the war. And, you know, there's very little commerce going on other than just to sustain life here. I think you had gas rations, you had shoe rations, you had rations everywhere because of the sacrifices that the Americans were making so that there were plenty of resources for the war.
Right. You had scrap drives, turn in all your extra pots, pans, cups, and everything else.
Mm-hmm. So there was a huge sacrifice on the part of this country. I don't think I can possibly, my father was in World War II, but I don't think I can possibly fathom how much sacrifice there was by this country when we declared and went to war. Because not only you had the Eastern Theater with Germany, but you had the Western Theater to take on with Japan.
Right. Yeah. Europe, you had the Mediterranean. You know.
I mean, we flat got in the
China,
shipbuilding and the tank building and the plane building business in a hurry. And to gear up all that within the 4 years that we fought that war, it's pretty good. That's flat knocking it out. All right, and the logistics behind it.
Well,
keeping all those equipment running.
That's the key. There is the logistics of the thing, and you know, basically we supplied, Russia with a lot of material. Now it wasn't, but you get an argument. I mean, it's a course of college work right there to discuss it all. But you had the Lend-Lease. You had to get anything on the East or in the Pacific Theater was thousands of miles. So, you know, what we had tied up in shipping and naval ships to support it and conduct offensive operations, et cetera, is just beyond the scope of what anybody else had ever done.
And all the ships that were put on the bottom of the ocean from U-boats and
well, you know, that's an argument there too, or well, that's a significant a note. If you the services, the Army, Navy, you had U.S. Army, Air Corps, Marines, et cetera, and there's always some back and forth over whose casualties, et cetera, and what service you wanted to be in to avoid being in a casualty. But the highest casualty rate of any of these services was the Merchant Marine, and I get some figures on that. There weren't a lot of them, but if you were on one of those merchantmen and you took a torpedo, guess what? You're done. And they had a lot of them.
All right. Well, let's move on to some good news. A 66-year-old guy here in North Carolina found out he hit the Powerball jackpot for $345 million on Tuesday. Actually, that was my ticket.
Yeah, he found it somewhere. That's right.
Yeah, I said, what are the odds? And I tossed it. He got the numbers from a fortune cookie his grandmother ate. Here he is talking about it just hours after he found out.
We always give her the fortune cookies. And I said, save the fortunes for me, and I can look at the numbers on the back of them if I want to play them, and that's where they came from. I didn't even know it this morning. I didn't look at the tickets, and I don't have the TV, the news to tell me. I got back in there and looked, and I said, dang, I got them all. I don't know what to do with most of it. I hope it don't change me a lot, and I'm trying not to change my life. Like I said, I'm still going to wear my jeans, maybe newer ones. Me and my brother had a deal to give each other $1 million if we won the lottery, the big, and I called him a while ago when I got here. I said, are you ready to be a millionaire? He said, but I'm your only brother. Can't you give me $2 million?
Yeah, 345. So, yeah, okay. We can go with the extra mil.
Yeah. Sounds like a good guy. Hope he enjoys his millions.
Yeah.
I would invest a few in a English course. On how to speak proper English.
It's probably not probably not going to happen. But invest some. I hope he just doesn't end up like so many of these lottery winners. Being a disaster. He doesn't sound like he would be.
Let's see what else we got this morning. Okay. If you haven't noticed, the new product trend is to have the CEO of the company do a dry radio commercial and tell you how the existing version of the product is a failure, while touting all the touchy-feeling values of its new vision. Better designer sheets, exact size socks, and now custom-fit toothbrushes.
Hi, I'm Wendell, CEO of MouthBristle.com, the makers of top-quality custom-fit toothbrushes. Mouths come in all different sizes, so...
Oh, wait a minute. I just saw my fun police note here.
Uh-oh.
We're going to kill that one.
Warning.
Warning, Steve Leader Adams. Warning.
Your audience won't like this one.
Hit pause.
Robbie the Robot kind of marched back and forth the screen. Huh?
Warning, Roe Robinson. The first eyeglasses were invented in Italy between 1268 and 1300. Early versions were worn by monks and scholars. It wasn't until the invention of the printing press, sometime between 1440 and 1450, and an increase in literacy, that the demand for glasses grew. Eyewear today improves your vision, protects it, and adds elements of style and personality.
Happy National Eyewear Day.
I can see clearly now. You got your sunglasses on. Sunglasses at night. Cheap sunglasses. With glasses.
All right. What do you do when your commute home just comes to a grinding halt?
Read a book.
I mean, your commute this morning could be worse. A guy in Montana got out of his car while he was stuck in traffic over the weekend, started playing the bagpipes. Apparently, he was on his way to an event, needed to warm up. A woman a few cars back live streamed it on Facebook for everybody.
I love this. I love it.
So, also, the destruction of Midland Road's underway as Barnhill Contracting down there taking that chainsaw to the trees, man.
Yeah, they've already cut a bunch. You better take a ride and remember what it looked like.
Well, here's what they did. They went to the center point of that circle and now are going 300 feet in all directions, which is 600 feet across.
Yep.
Every tree is going to be gone. Thank you, DOT, for your brilliance. I took an oath when I joined the DOT. This is exactly what he said at the meeting, at the Southern Pines meeting. I took an oath that I would make all the streets safe that I worked on, and this is not a safe street. Although you have a lower fatality rate for streets under 45 miles an hour,
Yeah.
lower than the average. We still gonna make it safe, and we're gonna take our template book and lay it all over your street and just annihilate it. I know it's 5 miles of history leading people to their golf experience. But I don't care. I'm DOT, and I'm going to make it safe. So you're going to look like every road in North Carolina. There won't be any personality left in that road when I'm through.
No, there won't. You can already see what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Sterile.
Yeah.
With pretty little bushes. And I'm going to take my four-wheel and mow right through that bush in front of me. Telling you now. So don't plant one there. Because I will annihilate it. I took an oath to mow down your bushes. I took an oath I'm not going to waste gas every time I want to make a left-hand turn and have to travel a mile out of my way to turn left. So take that and put in your template book. Plus, we don't have any guts on any board around here. Every one of those boards, an amount of time, just cowered down. Bunch of wussies. From Jamie Bowles right on down to the council members. Not a one of them stood up for us. Remember that the next time you go vote. Not a one of them stood up for us. It is 8 o'clock.
Unsettled weather will continue across the area for the next several days. We have an area of moisture that's going to continue streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico, so just keep those umbrellas handy. We'll have a few showers and thunderstorms possible today. High temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90. Showers are possible overnight tonight into Friday morning with lows near 70. And showers and thunderstorms likely Friday with highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Broadcasting from the top of the North Carolina Sand Hills, 97.3 FM, 104.1FM, and 990 AM, WEEB, Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines. President Trump is marking the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion in Normandy, paying his respects to vets that he says are among the very greatest Americans who will ever live.
It was here that tens of thousands of the Americans came. The GIs who boarded the landing craft that morning knew that they carried on their shoulders not just the pack of a soldier, but the fate of the world.
An eye-opening experience for many.
Before the war, many had never ventured beyond their own community. Now they had come to offer their lives half a world from home.
Some 6 American survivors of the Normandy invasion are among the 12,000 gathered in Normandy to mark this anniversary. Talks will resume today between the Trump administration and Mexican officials who are in Washington trying to head off trade tariffs intended to push them to crack down on illegal immigration at the southern border.
5% tariffs are slated for Monday unless Mexico proposes a solution acceptable to the White House for stemming the flow of Central American migrants. Mexico's Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard says he and Vice President Pence and Secretary of State Pompeo didn't even focus on the tariffs.
Dialogue was focused on migration flows and what Mexico are doing.
He says he's optimistic, but President Trump criticized the talks as not nearly enough to halt the import taxes. Congressional Republicans may try to block the tariffs. They worry that they'll hike costs for U.S. consumers, harm the economy, and jeopardize the new Mexico-Canada trade deal. Jackie Quinn, Washington.
Changes to YouTube's hate speech policy. It's now prohibiting videos with white supremacy and neo-Nazi viewpoints. News and analysis at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
I had a lot of credit card debt, and I couldn't pay my bills. I was feeling so bad. I got to a point where I needed some help. So I reached out and contacted Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They were able to take all of my different payments and put them all together.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
And they were actually able to work with my creditors. I've been able to pay off close to $15,000 in the last 18 months.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Stephanie, and I'm debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
6 undocumented migrants were killed when their car crashed into an irrigation ditch after a police chase in rural South Texas. The first of 12 funerals are set for later today for the victims of last week's shootings in Virginia Beach. Catherine Nixon will be laid to rest. She was a compliance manager for the city, but more importantly, she was a wife and a mother of 3. Former Vice President Joe Biden is facing increased criticism from fellow Democrats over his abortion stance.
Biden is coming under attack from his Democratic presidential rivals and women's rights advocates for supporting the Hyde Amendment. It's a law that prohibits the use of federal money to pay for abortions. In the past, many Democrats supported the Hyde Amendment, but as the party shifts more to the left, candidates and activists are blasting Biden and calling for the abortion rule to be changed. Greg Clugston, the White House.
News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Wally Hines. A national movement, well-funded by George Soros, seeking to influence elections, has created a couple of sharply contested primary races in Northern Virginia.
Incumbent prosecutors Theo Stamos in Arlington County and Ray Moreau in Fairfax County have decades of experience prosecuting high-profile cases and have rarely faced serious challenges. But two challengers are mounting well-funded campaigns this year. Parisa Degani Tofty and Steve Descano have been helped with money from a political action committee backed by left-wing billionaire financier George Soros. They also have the support of Democratic former Governor Terry McAuliffe, who was angered when Stamos and Moreau opposed his plan to automatically restore the voting rights of ex-felons. Keith Peters, Washington.
Big headaches for travelers last evening when a power outage at Los Angeles International led to dozens of delayed, canceled, or diverted flights. Check-in procedures scrambled. The airport's signature-colored pylons were also dark. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I'm Steve Leader Adams with the WEEB Viewpoint editorial. On February 26th, the general contracting company of Clancy and Thays submitted a bid to construct the Southern Pines Elementary School on Morganton Road. As required, they attached a bid bond in the amount of 5% of their bid, or in this case, approximately $1.5 million. On March 5th, Clancy and Thays issued a letter withdrawing their bids, stating they could not build a school at a reduced price as requested by the school board's architect. This withdrawal letter came 7 days after the bid was presented to the school board. The problem is the law says that the bid can only be withdrawn within 3 days after submission, and then only due to an accidental mathematical error, without forfeiting the bid bond. This was pointed out on WEEB's morning program. On March 13th, 15 days after the original bid was submitted, and after WEEB pointed out the law, John Barath, Executive Officer for Operations at the Moore County Schools, stated in an email that Clancy and Thays suddenly had a mathematical error and that the school board should forgive them and not make them forfeit their bid bond. Wasn't that nice of John Barath to give away $1.5 million of your money? The problem is it wasn't John's to give away. He deliberately ignored the law, and true to form, the school board endorsed John Barath's asinine recommendation. The school board lied to the public and said they would have to get in a prolonged legal fight to collect the taxpayers' money. Well, that just simply is not true. They would only need to make a claim against the surety bond attached to the bid. If Travelers Insurance fails to pay on the bid bond, you turn it over to the insurance commissioner to resolve the problem. This is a continuation of a long-running problem in our school system of the tail wagging the dog. Now the school board wants $4.3 million more from you. Don't you think the school board needs to start by collecting our $1.5 million from Clancy and Thays before they stick their hand out once again to the taxpayer? I'm Steve Leader Adams, and that's my viewpoint.
Jared Kirk and Amy McBride of the First Casualty Insurance Group in Southern Pines talk about the benefits of being an FCIG customer.
Our agency has been in business since 1984. We are an independent agency, which means that we have numerous carriers. Having multiple carriers benefits our customers because it offers them more options for their coverage and price.
One of the most asked questions we get from our clients is how much do they need to insure their home for? Many clients think they should insure their home based on tax value or what they could sell their home for. Neither is correct.
Insurance carriers want to insure your home for the replacement value. Replacement value is what it would take to rebuild your home back to its current state in the event of a complete loss.
First Casualty Insurance Group of Southern Pines. Call them today at 910-692-8303 or find them on the web at fcignc.com.
Hello, this is Chris Ennis, Service Manager at Pinecrest Patriots Hyundai. We want to thank all of our loyal customers for entrusting us with the care and maintenance of their vehicles over the years. But did you know we also service Lexus, saving you a trip to Raleigh or Charlotte? In fact, our factory-trained and certified ASE technicians can service any type of vehicle. Your complete satisfaction is our #1 goal, so please consider Pinecrest Patriots Hyundai for all your vehicle service needs. We are open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and open on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. We can be reached at 910-692-2424. We look forward to seeing you.
At Mamma Mia's Italian restaurant in Seven Lakes, a warm ambiance, mouth-watering cuisine, and polished service culminate in an Italian dining experience like no other. For dinner, be prepared for a feast with scrumptious choices like barramundi Asian sea bass served on a bed of pasta with tomato, lemon, and caper sauce. Or try our pizzaiola, made with your choice of chicken or veal, cooked in white wine, tomato sauce, and capers, covered in melting cheese, and served on a bed of pasta. All served with our hot and buttery garlic knots. We're located at 4243 in the Seven Lakes Plaza off Highway 211, or call 910-673-6900 for reservations. Make your way into Mamma Mia's Italian restaurant and see what everyone in Seven Lakes is talking about.
Fred, we've been getting a lot of questions about club fitting in Norwood lately. Why should people come see us before they buy new clubs?
Let me tell you, some of the main reasons I think is because we do such a great job at helping people find the right specs on new clubs. We use the most expansive fitting systems from Ping and Wilson. We use Flight Scope and Doppler radar. We are PGA teachers as well as fitters. We have over 200 people come to us each year for the last 5 years. We hit off of grass outside and not in the nets, so you're actually getting to see real ball flight. And don't forget, we're the only nationally recognized Ping fitting facility in the Sandhills. We were national fitters in 2010.
Well, when you put it like that, it makes sense. Come by and see us at Norwood Fairways on Midland Road in Southern Pines. 692-3572 or norwood-midland.com.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. Leaders and citizens from around the world gathered in Normandy today to honor the soldiers who died in World War II when the first Allied troops landed on shore. President Donald Trump made remarks there.
Those who fought here won a future for our nation. They won the survival of our civilization.
D-Day veteran Ray Lambert from North Carolina says America was on the right side during the war.
When I go to look at the beaches at Omaha, I remember all my friends that were killed there.
After weeks of delay, House Republicans on Wednesday failed in their attempt to override Governor Roy Cooper's veto of the Born Alive abortion bill. The House voted 67-53 after almost an hour of emotional debate to override the veto. The unsuccessful override hands a victory to abortion rights groups and lawmakers after a series of legislative defeats. Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden responded to a U.S. Attorney's Office on Wednesday after being accused of failing to honor detainer requests from Immigration and Customs Enforcement and not notifying ICE of the release of a suspect in the country illegally. McFadden began the press conference reiterating his decision not to participate in 287G.
I dare anyone to say that I am not public safety concerned. Come to the streets where I am. Come to the barbershops where I go. Come to the neighborhoods where no one dare to go. And go to the neighborhoods that you're not familiar with.
President Trump says he will impose tariffs on all Mexican goods despite opposition from his own party. Mexico's foreign minister is in Washington for negotiations. Wei Zhang is at the White House.
The auto industry would take the toughest hit, and car prices could soar by over $1,000. Mexico is our biggest trading partner, so everything from electronics to beer to fruits and vegetables will cost more.
You're listening to NCN News.
There are millions of unused and leftover opioid pills in North Carolina alone, enough to stretch from the mountains to the coast. These powerful prescription pills are contributing to an epidemic that takes 5 lives every day. But there is something more powerful than opioids. All of us. We can take back our extra pills and ask our healthcare providers about alternatives for pain. Together, we can take back our communities. Learn how you can help end the epidemic at morepowerfulnc.org.
If you're ready for some fun, then you're ready for the summer fundraiser on UNC TV. Tonight, Happy Days are here again, starting at 8 with Magic Moments, the best of 50s pop, showcasing chart-topping harmonies from your favorite groups and solo artists. Then at 10, join the musical celebration for star tenor Andrea Bocelli at 60. It's the summer fundraiser, and it's some fun. Now through June 9th, only at member-supported UNC TV, PBS, and more at unctv.org/specials.
Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan has signed off on a final review into a deadly ambush in Niger that killed 4 U.S. soldiers.
The ambush occurred in 2017 and after a lengthy investigation resulted in disciplinary action against 9 servicemen. The highest ranking was the commander of special operations in Africa, but no other general officer was punished, and that brought criticism from some that lower-ranking soldiers were taking all the blame. But after this latest review, Acting Defense Secretary Shanahan is recommending no more senior officers be reprimanded. The ambush happened while Army Special Forces were leading Nigerian forces on a hastily planned mission to kill or capture a high-level Islamic State leader. They were outnumbered by more than 100 extremists.
The Carolina Panthers are starting the process to relocate team operations from Charlotte to South Carolina. In a ceremony in Rock Hill, South Carolina, Governor Henry McMaster signed a tax break bill for sports teams that was needed to move the project forward. Panthers owner David Tepper attended a pep rally that was held in downtown Rock Hill for the official bill signing.
This is going to be a showcase down here and going to bring people down to this region, and we'll have, just a sense of excellence, not only up there for the football team, but everything we do down here in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
The central U.S. is bracing for historic flooding into the weekend. 7 million people are at risk from rising rivers. Adriana Diaz is in Grafton, Illinois, along the Missouri border.
Some areas there are 10 feet of water, and this town just can't catch a break. This is their 4th flood since October.
The Onslow County Sheriff's Office says 32-year-old Derek Lamel Bennett of Hubert is charged with an open count of murder in the death of 31-year-old Christy Gadet on Tuesday. Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Unsettled weather will continue across the area for the next several days. We have an area of moisture that's going to continue streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico, so just keep those umbrellas handy. We'll have a few showers and thunderstorms possible today. High temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90. Showers are possible overnight tonight into Friday morning with lows near 70. And showers and thunderstorms likely Friday with highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Right now here in the Sand Hills area, sunny 75 degrees, humidity 84%, dew point at a sticky 70, pressure is 2991, winds west-southwest today, visibility is at 10 statute miles. It's 8:15. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Thursday morning already. A Pinehurst High School senior is being remembered as someone who was always smiling and was a brother to all. Dennis Daquan Purcell died as a result of a motor vehicle accident in Hoke County Tuesday evening, according to an unofficial report. Pinecrest High School principal Stephanie Phillips announced his passing on Wednesday in a social media post. Purcell was scheduled to graduate Saturday morning. Purcell was a reserve wide receiver on the football team and also saw actions on special teams. And the Harnett County Sheriff's Office has arrested and charged 2 people after a person was found dead in a car, apparently of gunshot wounds. A 911 call came in on Wednesday shortly after 3:30 after the incident, saying the driver had been shot on US 301 north in Dunn. Harnett County Sheriff deputies found the victim in the car. He was later identified as Demetrius Monte Johnson, 21, of Fayetteville. Although it looks like Johnson died from gunshot wounds, the sheriff said it's still early in the investigation. Authorities said 29-year-old Tony Jr. Williams and 19-year-old Travanta Malik Settle were arrested on Tuesday. They were asking the public help finding a third person in connection with the case. Williams and Settle have been charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and shooting into an occupied motor vehicle. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. It is 8:17.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Raptors drained 17 three-pointers and withstood Steph Curry's best playoff scoring performance in a win over Golden State in Oakland.
Kawhi Leonard led 6 Raptors in double digits with 30 points as Toronto wins Game 3 of the Finals 123-109. Kyle Lowry added 23 points, while Pascal Siakam and Danny Green each had 18 points to give the Raptors a 2-1 lead in the series. Lowry says they have the right group of experienced players that have gotten them to the finals.
You never get too up, never get too down. Teams are going to make runs, and you're going to not win every game. You're not going to lose every game, but you can continue to grow.
For the Warriors, Stephen Curry poured in a playoff career-high 47 points, but without Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, and Kevon Looney all out with various injuries, it wasn't good enough. Game 4 is Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Ryan Leong, Oakland.
Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final is tonight in Boston, and the Bruins could be without captain Zdeno Chara when they host the St. Louis Blues. Chara didn't go to the arena yesterday to practice. That's a day and a half after he took a puck to the jaw during the second period of Game 4 on Monday in St. Louis. He sat out the third period of the game while the Blues scored twice to win 4-2 and even the series at 2 games each. Mike Krzyzewski will be coaching his grandson this season at Duke. Durham Academy graduate Michael Saravino will enroll and be a part of the Blue Devils as a preferred walk-on. Coach K telling WRAL-TV in Raleigh.
He loves the game, so he wanted to play college basketball. He went to all these camps, and but he loves Duke, and he wanted to come to Duke, and I was happy about that because he earned it, and then if he's coming to Duke, then he should be a part of our basketball program because he's good enough to be a walk-on.
One thing's for sure, he won't be calling his grandfather Pappy. This is NCN Sports.
The Powerade State Games of North Carolina are coming this June to Charlotte. Registration is open for athletes of all ages and skill levels in 24 different sports. The Powerade State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on the largest sports festival of the year. Visit PoweradestateGames.org today. The Powerade State Games are brought to you by BB&T and Harris Teeter. For more information, visit PoweradestateGames.org.
Medicaid expansion, school safety, a statewide bond package, the next state budget. North Carolina lawmakers are tackling these and other topics. You can follow all the action with Carolina Journal. How would these proposals affect you, your wallet, your family? Carolina Journal offers answers. Available each month as a free newspaper. Every day online at carolinajournal.com. Carolina Journal, your best source for government news that affects you. Visit carolinajournal.com today.
The signing of a tax break bill on Wednesday was the next step in the Carolina Panthers' plans to relocate their headquarters from Charlotte south to Rock Hill in South Carolina. The governor of that state, Henry McMaster, signed a tax break bill for sports teams that was needed to meet the Panthers' requirements for the relocation. Panthers owner David Tepper spoke at a pep rally yesterday in Rock Hill and said they will also continue to support the current summer campsite.
It doesn't mean, by the way, that we're going to forget our friends in Spartanburg either. We will be present in Spartanburg for a long time. Just want to tell one way or another, whether it's fan fests or whatever, we're going to be over there too. We're not going to forget people who have been our friends and our fans.
We're not going to forget Charlotte either. They're still going to play the games at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown. Josh and Zach, NCN Sports.
Serving more people, more places, 24/7. If your AC breaks down, we'll restore your indoor heaven. Installation or repair, one call will be there. It's your family, don't delay. Comfort's just a call away. We're Comfort Services. Comfort Services.
Come to Comfort Services in Aberdeen to get a free estimate on a new Carrier system or heat pump, and you may qualify for a rebate up to $2,000 from Carrier. Get in on the savings and purchase a qualifying heating or cooling product before the Cool Cash rebate ends June 30th. You may also qualify for financing options as well. Stop into Comfort Services on Highway 5 next to the Habitat store in Aberdeen, or call 910-695-2665. Carrier and Comfort Services, a great team.
Comfort's just a call away. Comfort Services.
It's Keith from Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More, inviting you to save more and sleep better during our 2019 Memorial Day sales event. The biggest brands at the best prices. Right now, get up to an amazing $1,000 off on select adjustable base sets, or up to $600 off on select 2019 Stearns & Foster mattresses. As usual, our Dream Team will deliver your new mattress and take your old mattress to donate to a family in need at Sweet Dreams Mattresses and More in Southern Pines and Sanford. Better sleep, sweeter dreams.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. I've mentioned on here before that my dad was one of the friendliest guys I ever knew. He knew a lot of people in our hometown. One night I was at the Elks Club with him and his best friend. Both of them were in their late 70s. My dad's friend was telling me that between him and my dad, they knew everyone in that town. He said, "We usually know just about everybody, but if I don't know them, your dad does." Well, we all chatted another hour or so when a man walked through the door. My dad's friend yelled out, "Hey, buddy, J.D." That was my dad. He yelled, "J.D.'s over here." I asked him why he yelled at that guy. He said, "Well, I don't know him. That means your dad has to. I figured he might have been looking for him." I was lucky. I grew up with a good dad and a good mom. I was able to know my grandparents well into my adult years. They taught us a good work ethic. They taught us to be honest and do what we think is the right thing to do. Well, I haven't always lived up to that, but I have more than I haven't. There's a lot of discussion right now in Moore County as to why some kids do well and others don't. Parents are a pretty good place to start looking, don't you think? You know as well as I do that if the parents don't care, that kid has very little chance. We can do and say just about anything we want to, but kids got to have good parents. Hope you have a nice day. From the Zoom Warm Zone.
Unsettled weather will continue across the area for the next several days. We have an area of moisture that's going to continue streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico, so just keep those umbrellas handy. We'll have a few showers and thunderstorms possible today. High temperatures in the upper 80s to near 90. Showers are possible overnight tonight into Friday morning with lows near 70. And showers and thunderstorms likely Friday with highs in the low to mid 80s. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills' #1 morning show. Mornings with the Leader Man. Here on Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
This show is brought to you by Throwback Thursday. Here are 3 things we learned from 80s movies. 1, don't cross the streams. 2, don't feed them after midnight. And 3, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Good morning, everyone.
What day is it?
Thursday.
Good morning. I'm ready for work.
It is Thursday.
Do you know what time it is?
Showtime.
Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you mean it. Say it like you mean it.
Say it like you mean it. Showtime. On with the show!
That's better.
That's better.
And why is that? You're saying it like you mean it.
Oh, like this?
It's showtime!
Hand me down my walking cane. Hand me down my hat. Hurry now and don't be late, 'cause we ain't got time to chat. You and me, we're going.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again for Mornings with the Leader Man. I am Steve Leader Adams, along with retired Marine Colonel Jeff Drummond. Good morning, Colonel.
Morning, Moore County. Hey, we're not going to take a hike today. JD yesterday. He fell out before we even got started. So we'll just square our uniforms away, clean our deuce gear, put a spit shine on our shoes, and stand by for remembrance on D-Day.
There you go. And don't forget, of course, this program being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you right now at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link for the video. If you're on your mobile device, YouTube will do the work. Just put Mornings with the Leader Man in there for the video. If you're on your mobile device just needing audio, we suggest many streaming services such as TuneIn, iTunes Streamer, Alexa, Google Assist. All will do it. Just put WEEB in the search. And if you're on our mobile device, on our website at talk973.com, upper right-hand corner of every web page has an icon that says On the Air Listen Live. Tap it once and you're listening that quick. Weather for us today here in the Sandhills area, this is just going to be a repeat every day. It's going to be hazy, hot, humid, cloudy, scattered showers every day. The only thing that's going to vary is the temperature. Our dew points are going to be in the low 70s, so it's going to be muggy every day. High today 88, low tonight 50, tomorrow 82, 80 on Saturday, 81 Sunday, Monday and Tuesday 83, 82 on Wednesday. All right, so you got the weather forecast down pat. It's just going to suck. Right now, winds are west-southwest today. Visibility 10 statute miles. Pressure is 2991, dew point 70, humidity 84%. It's sunny and 75 muggy degrees currently here at Talk 97.3 FM, 104.1 FM, and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 8:28 past the hour. Yeah, it's a time of year when you try to think at night. You go outside and say, wow, it's cool. There's a little breeze, and isn't this nice? And then some kind of flying summer bug gets in your face.
You got to put your bug control measures. Put them on.
It's just something about summer has a way of swarming on you.
A little lemongrass smells nice and keeps the bugs away.
I wouldn't know lemongrass if it slapped me in the face. You know what it looks like?
Yes, essential oil. I'll get you some. It works perfectly.
Well, I got that natural spray you had last year.
Yeah, that's it, right there.
Well, was I going to say relative to the fun of summer? No, that's about it. There's no fun in summer.
You got crickets, you got the frogs. Toads.
One thing I don't see are lightning bugs anymore. You see them?
I've seen them, yes. About 2 weeks ago, there were a bunch of them out in the front yard.
Wow. I used to see them all the time. Now I never see them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen them here I haven't really been out looking for them. Right at dusk is when they're usually coming out. So
yeah.
Yeah,
you remember you used to capture them as a kid in a jar?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And then in the morning, they're lying dead at the bottom of the jar.
Yes, they are.
You murderer. You murdered the bug.
No green peace for you.
All right. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Let me see if I got all my sound bites last hour done. I doubt it, but we'll see. That news. Nothing worth talking about there. All right, let's things we need to know today so we don't sound stupid. We would hate for that to happen. According to the Nielsen ratings, ABC and their two NBA final broadcasts averaged 13.6 million viewers, which marks a 24% and 22% decline, respectively.
Oh.
So a quarter of the audience is gone.
Well, that's, yeah. At least a quarter of that audience has a little bit of common courtesy, integrity, and smarts to get away from there.
Yeah, I mean,
shows me a little bit. At least not all those people are lost. The ones that are still watching, no hope for you.
I watched a little bit of it last night.
No
and
hope
I
for
do
you.
just enough to get me to turn. And it's just run and gun. I go snore. It's a new all-time record. A townhouse in New York City was sold for $80 million. Don't you wish you had that kind of money or could qualify?
Hey, you know what does $80 million buy? A stoop full of poop.
Gonorrhea among 65 plus is rising at nearly double the national average, with divorce and dating apps blamed for greater promiscuity amongst pensioners. The number of cases rose by 42% for older people in 2018 compared to the national average of 26%.
Wow.
You got to quit hanging out with those skanky people. That's just all there is to it. Warning about internet websites that say they can set you up with a puppy. It's become one of the more popular ways to scam people out of thousands of dollars. Remember, anything can be looked legit online. Jennifer Aniston said that said some interesting things on Ellen the other day. For starters, she's not ashamed of her body, and that's why she posed topless but covered in the new Harper magazine. That she believes the cast of Friends would be up to a reunion if the script were right.
If the script were right, so they're all going to take their time. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I was still focused on her posing.
Yeah, me too. What was that name? That movie she was in with Vince Vaughn, where she?
I don't watch those movies, so I don't know.
Well, it was a good movie. They were a couple, shacked up, and they broke up, and she was trying to win him back, and she walked down the hall, got out of the shower, and walked down the hall, and you could see her whole backside. Now, it might have been the body double, but
more than likely
looked good in the movie. Clarence Thomas heard the retirement rumors. He says nope, he enjoys his work. Harrison Ford says Indiana Jones 5 would start filming next year. Today's impossible question: 60% of us think our significant other looks hot when they wear this. What is it?
65% significant.
Don't say nothing, because that's not the answer.
Well, tennis shoes. I don't know.
Workout clothes.
Workout clothes. Okay. All right.
From a Did You Know category, according to GQ, a little over 10% of men have checked this at a wedding.
10% of men have checked this at a wedding. The bridesmaid.
You mean have done the bridesmaid?
No, I checked them out.
10% have checked the sports scores.
Oh, yeah, great. That's yeah, okay.
Twister was originally called Pretzel and was first introduced as a beach game.
Yeah, okay, I can see it.
According to USA Today, 3% of Americans have eaten in the bathtub.
No.
Families that have fish as pets are 3 times likely to suffer from allergies.
Okay, well, I don't know why that would be.
According to a recent study, almost 1 out of every 4 calories we consume come from drinks. 22% of single women say that the mall is the best place to do this.
27% of women say the mall is the... Don't tell me to pick up men. I don't want to hear
Ding!
That. Gee, oh, Lord.
Meet someone.
Yeah, get a life. Go
on. According to... Yeah, when she meets the guy at the mall that knows where every piece of clothing in the whole mall is.
Yeah, man.
She has met her man of her dreams.
Well, how many malls are there left? 2, 3?
Malls?
Nationwide? Yeah.
Plenty of them up in Raleigh. Yeah. Down here, not so many.
Yeah, I was going to say the Mall of America.
You got Cross Street Mall, and that's about it. Yeah. According to a recent study, 1 out of 4 people won't date someone if they have one of these.
A third eye.
A pet.
A pet. Well, yeah, okay. I can see that.
Why?
Because you're buying into a lot more than some people want to get into. You know, just... You know, it depends what kind of pet, too. I mean, if we're talking goldfish, you know, maybe not a big deal.
Well, I'm like this. You know it going in.
Well, exactly. But, you know, when you talk about dogs or cats, I mean, you know, like my wife can't be in a house that has a cat in it for more than about 20 minutes.
That's because cat dander allergy.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, a lot of people have the same thing with dogs. So, you know.
Candy canes were invented in 1670 in Germany to keep kids quiet in church. The tops are curved so that they look like a shepherd's staff.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
Who knew? All right. clean up some stuff off my desktop here, and then we can get on with the program here as we move next to our world-famous rim shots this morning. Let's see if we can get a chuckle out of the Colonel. Not easy to do every day, but we will try. Tracy Morgan crashed his new $2 million Bugatti minutes after driving it off the lot. Finally, Tracy Morgan does something that makes me laugh.
That's funny. He wasn't hurt, was he?
No.
I hate to laugh if he was hurt.
No, that was the last accident.
Oh, okay. Oh,
where he
he's
got
the one
money.
that got, yeah, okay.
Where he got the $2 million to buy the car.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Miley Cyrus says she was grabbed and forcibly kissed by a man in Spain, or as Joe Biden knows it, meet and greet. Justin Bieber and Halle Baldwin were seen wearing wedding bands. Until now, the only proof they had that they were married were their matching dead-eyed stares. Ratings for the NBA Finals are down from last year. Meanwhile, ratings for the Stanley Cup Finals hit an all-time high, 7 people.
Hockey used to be big. I don't know what happened to it.
Well, it just sucks on TV.
I guess. I don't know.
Whatever happened to they put that box put in that little chip inside the puck so you could see it zing across the ice, left a little trail behind it.
I don't know.
So that the fan could see where it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why maybe the chip didn't last long or something. I have no clue. Because that little puck goes quite fast.
Yeah, and it's quite small.
Yeah.
And relatively speaking. Yeah. YouTube is banning videos that promote extreme views. They spent all day yesterday banning how-to videos for making pineapple pizza.
That would probably be good there. Yeah, pineapple pizza.
An Iowa man was arrested for doing things to himself with toys at a library.
Good Lord.
The librarian became suspicious after he spent 3 hours straight in the do-it-yourself section.
You mean the do-yourself section?
Amazon has received FAA approval for drone delivery. The drones will be able to deliver packages weighing up to 5 pounds. So good news if the Olsen twins are ever available on Amazon Prime. In Roswell, New Mexico yesterday, 12 people were injured in an accident involving fireworks. Or at least that's what they want us to think.
Poor Roswell. Have you ever been there? It's an interesting place. There's actually a lot of stuff there beyond the UFO stuff. There's a nice...
I mean, you can tour Area 57?
Well, there's an art gallery. There's some really interesting stuff there to do.
Well, it's outside the Area 57.
Yeah, well, you know.
Because if you go up to the fence at Area 57, all of a sudden you're met by the men in black.
Yes, yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I didn't get out there.
And they say, go away.
Yeah, Joel McRae's ranch is down there. There's lots of stuff.
Well, maybe someday I'll crank up the RV and head that way.
Yep.
It'll only take me $9,000 in fuel to get there. The homeless population...
You could fly down.
But then I have no way to get around.
You have no way to get back because you'll be in space.
Yes. Well, I won't need to come back. I'll be abducted. And they'll do bad things to my body. The homeless population of L.A. jumped 12%. There are so many broken people with shopping carts, it changed its name to Walmartville.
Yeah, there you go.
A woman in Louisiana called 911 to report a Taco Bell ran out of tacos. Well, I could believe that given the management of local Taco Bells.
Yeah, Taco Bell is special. That's a fact.
See, we're out of tacos. Think you could have seen that before it happened? That's like at fast food places. They can't see that they're out of fries till they're completely out of fries. Yeah. Hang on, we just downed the fries. We want your fries to be hot. Yeah. Well, do you think you could have downed them when you wiped out the other basketful? Just saying. Anyway, a woman in Louisiana called 911 to report a Taco Bell had run out of tacos. The police ignored the call because it wasn't a real emergency, like if there was a report of a Krispy Kreme running out of donuts.
Oh man, that's not nice. That's not right.
And today is D-Day to Kim Kardashian. D-Day used to be what she called the day she got her school report card.
Okay.
Yeah, Mommy, look at my D's. Mm-hmm. Aren't you proud of me? Why, sure, daughter. And Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez,
another obnoxious communist,
said putting someone in solitary confinement in prison is torture. As, of course, is listening to her shrill voice over 30 seconds at a time.
Yep.
Be a little tough on the ears. All right, it is 8:44, 44 past the hour. Let me double check something here right quick. Oh, well, we only got one, but that's all right. We'll go get that one bad guy and mop him off the street so our cities are safe again.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Oh, no.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
All right, my friends, it's time once again. Mosey on over to the closet doors in the style of the Duke John Wayne. Open up those doors. Look at all 30 of our safes. And today we're going to go to safe number 49. I'm sorry, we only got 30. Number 29.
Gotcha.
And open her up. We'll let the Colonel reach in and grab our weapon of choice today.
All right, well, we have something very special today.
All righty.
It's the only musical instrument declared to be a weapon of war by a court of law. And that would be the bagpipes.
Oh, no, I got to lug those things around.
That and there's a kilt in here you got to put on.
All right, well, we'll throw it over the shoulder, pin on our badge, grab 5 cans of some kilt whoop ass. And out the door we go in relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. Stupid criminal news number 1 this morning. I'm pretty sure this is what it looks like to hit rock bottom. A guy went to a strip club in Charlotte, North Carolina just last Tuesday. No, going to the strip club on Tuesday isn't rock bottom by itself, although it's a strong start. He wound up getting kicked out and got into a fight with the bouncer. Must have gotten handsy with the dancers. I don't know. Anyway, when he got to his car, crashed into another car in the parking lot, he started shooting at an employee as he drove off. Fortunately, his shots missed. The police, though, came and they found him shortly after that when he crashed his car on the way home. Yeah, I can see where this is going. He was taken to the hospital and now is facing several charges. Wow, that's not good.
No. Very bad.
All right, that's your stupid criminal news. I told you I only had one.
That was enough.
Yeah. That's the stupid criminal stuff for today. It is 8:47 past the hour, but that gives us plenty of time to get into everybody's favorite part of the program where you put your arms in the air and your fingers is called for.
And now it's time for
Random facts.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, the random facts for today. Maybe a spare. Let's see here. The producers of Deadpool had to pay $10,000 for Ryan Reynolds to be able to wear a T-shirt with B. Arthur's face on it in the movie.
Okay.
Something about royalties to her family, I guess.
Yeah. Well, she's... Yeah, okay. I can see that.
But you see, if he wears one, that might inspire a whole lot of sales.
That's true, too. But, all right.
Only one Major League Baseball player has ever committed suicide during the season. A catcher for the Cincinnati Reds named Willard Hirschberger killed himself in August of 1940, right in the middle of a bad hitting slump.
Okay.
There are 10 U.S. military bases named after Confederate generals and leaders.
Yes.
Can you name some?
Bragg, Stewart, Lee,
Stewart's not on the list.
Pickett, Fort Stewart? Yeah, it should be.
No, not as a Confederate general. Y'all.
Okay, all right.
You got Fort Lee, Fort Hood, Fort Benning, Gordon, Fort Bragg, Polk, Pickett, Hill, Rucker, and Beauregard.
Fort Stewart wasn't named for Jeb Stewart then, I guess. I don't know what Stewart he was named
He must
for.
be a damn Yankee.
No. But I always thought it was named no.
Or Westerner.
Well, I'll have to look it up, see who he was, or see which one it was named for.
Even though it sounds Japanese, Sudoku, however you say it, was invented in France in the late 19th century. It got its name when a company in Japan started publishing the puzzles and called them Sudoku in 1986. And the 12 days of Christmas is about the 12 days after Christmas, not before. They end on January 6th, which is the holiday called the Feast of the Epitome.
Yeah.
I did not know that. And guess what game turns 35 today?
Game turns 35? No clue.
Man, they were supposed to...
I wasn't playing games 35 years ago.
Now I got to get to a second source to get my sound. Let's see. News. Quick news.
We talking Wheel of Fortune or something like that?
No.
Board game?
Shut up. I know. Here it is. All right. This game right here. Do you know it?
It's some electric game, but I don't know what it is.
What's up, Wallet Hood? Let's see. No, that's in it.
Mario Brothers or something?
Let me get back to this source. Never mind D-Day, the game Tetris turns 35 today. It's been on the gaming platforms more than any other game in history. That's the theme song. Here's a fun fact. The theme is a Russian folk tune from the 1800s, and the lyrics are about a peddler who seduces a young peasant girl.
Okay.
There you go. Sound of Tetris. Not that you hear it anymore. We've heard a lot about hail recently because of all the storms in different parts of the country. Just a heads up, when you do film a giant hailstorm, don't do it next to a big sliding glass door that could shatter. That's what happened to this woman on Saturday in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't as dramatic as I thought it'd be. One can only hope. Let's see. All right. Dad filmed his 4-year-old son on a plane complaining about the stinky feet of the woman behind them.
Mm-hmm.
She had one of her bare feet sticking through the seat and up against the kid's armrest.
You know.
Are you kidding me?
I can think of a couple ways to get
stabbing that with a few knives. Nurse, I need a fork for my Coca-Cola. Can you believe somebody put their foot through the armrest?
Yeah, I can. Sure.
I'd stand up and look at her like, really? Do you really
stay off airplanes? Weird stuff happens on airplanes.
Yeah, do you want to keep all 10 of your toes?
Well.
One thing you could do is grab her foot and hold it down on the armrest and start tickling the hell out of the bottom of her foot.
No, I just start twisting. Of course, if it smells that bad, you might not want to touch it.
I cannot believe, and Daddy doesn't do anything about it. You got to let quit people walking on you. Here you go.
I think your feet behind me. I think it's a lady. Why is somebody on my feet behind me?
Like I said, it's supposed to be seated in virtue.
I thought you had your feet behind me.
Well, I couldn't hear it too well, but
I'd think of something to do. She'd move it.
Yeah, it'd be in her face. That's what it'd be.
Yeah, you play, have a little fun first.
I'd probably be nice first. Call the stewardess over. I say, either you get this damn foot out of my space, or I will. I'm leaving it to y'all first.
Well, like you say, you ask nicely and rapidly.
Yeah, here's my nicest. I can't believe you're that damn stupid that you think you can stick your foot through my seat and put your damn foot on my armrest that I'm paying for. Who the boop do you think you are? And that's me asking nicely.
As they ask you.
And I'd say every time my headrest bumps, I'm going to be bumping you.
Well, either you grab hold of it real hard and pull. You know, there's lots of things. Again, it wouldn't be there very
I'm going to put my hand on her stinky foot.
Yeah.
Not like I carry around a pair of latex gloves. A dad in San Diego is giving away the free homemade roller coaster he built in the backyard for his kids. Obviously, it's pretty small. And they ride it in a car seat. But it's still pretty cool. The adults can ride it too. He wants to give it to a do-it-yourself type person with a family, and they have to come and disassemble it because he's moving. Let's face it, that's the real reason it's free, I'm sure.
Yeah. I built it for kids and adults alike. The kids ride in the car seat, of course. There's safety restraints like any other car seat would buckle to a car. The adults, it's a little more risky of a ride. You ride right on the wood. But yeah, anyone can enjoy it. We put our kids on as soon as the track was up and tested and ready, and they love riding in it. And anytime their cousins come over, everyone rides the roller coaster for half an hour, and it's kind of a fun activity in the backyard. I've always had a fascination with roller coasters, and there's all sorts of cool engineering and construction aspects to it, kind of like a puzzle that you get to figure out.
And a helicopter in Arizona rescued an injured 74-year-old hiker on Tuesday. Yeah, you go hiking and we got to pay to pull you off the mountain. But on the way up, the stretcher he was on started spinning like crazy in the turbulence.
Ooh.
How you liking the ride down there? Glad you went hiking today, don't you? We're talking about 175 times in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
They had to fly off with the stretcher close to the ground. This is from the radio mic of the news chopper filming all of this.
Oh, got the spin. I got to let him back down, try to get that under control. That was not good. Definitely passed out by now. They're going to try to... Oh, there you go. They'll slow that down. They're just going to fly off with them and go to the LZ. I hate to see that. Oh, my gosh. That is not good.
They use their news choppers a lot more than we use them here, don't they? High-speed chases. Hikers getting rescued.
Hey, don't come up with any brilliant ideas. Next thing you know, we'll have one here for high-speed car chases.
We already have one. All right, so it goes for the Highway Patrol. Just got them another one.
Well, for the state. Yeah.
So it goes for this Thursday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow for TSIF Thanksgiving Friday. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pop businesses you hear on our airways because they're the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man. And Nick and Colt the Dog will all see you at the Hot Stinky Dog Park today at 2.